Greetings from Saxe Gotha Elementary. I'm Principal Beth Hout. I have 3 retirees to introduce, and the first one is Ms. Linda Fry. Ms. Linda, if you'll come down. A dedicated employee of Lexington One for 20 years, Linda serves as one of our housekeepers. Her hardworking efforts must have rubbed off on some of our students, as they will sometimes offer to help Linda with her job of keeping our school clean. Celebrating with Linda tonight is her spouse, Bobby. Will Mary Rowell join us, Dr. Woodward up front? Mary has worked in Lexington One for all but 1 year of her entire 30-year career as a teacher. She retires after spending the last 18 years with 4-year-olds at Saxe Gotha Elementary School. While at Gilbert Elementary, she taught art, dance, in 1st and 2nd grades, and at Red Bank, she also taught dance. As an educator, Mary takes teaching very seriously, but she never passes up an opportunity to relish in the fun of learning. Tony, Mary's husband, is with her tonight. Our final retiree to make her way up front is Ms. Diane Wells. Diane worked at Saxe Gotha Elementary. She enjoyed preparing meals for our students and employees as one of our food service operators. With Diane tonight is her husband, James. We thank these retirees for being part of the Saxe Gotha Elementary family. I hope retirement is very good to each one of you.
Jenny Merritt, please come to the front. A former Teacher of the Year, Jenny teaches art at Knoll Elementary. She says that during her 25 years in the district, she's enjoyed watching students develop their artistic talents as they move through elementary school. Jenny retires after working in art for almost 30 years. Her guest this evening is Tammy Lorick, a teacher Jenny has taught with since her first year in Lexington One. Thank you, Jenny, for sharing the gift of artistic expression with so many students for so many years.
I'm Ryan Blair. I'm assistant principal at Knoll High School. Our principal, Ms. Mayer, is at our senior awards ceremony tonight, so she couldn't be here. So I get the honor of recognizing 2 of our retirees. If Angela Hartley would make her way to the front. As a part of the Knoll High School family, Angela worked first as food service operator and then as a housekeeper. She's enjoyed her 6 years at our school, thanks in part to seeing our students' smiling faces while she worked. With Patricia Phillips, we know her better known as Miss Patsy. She'll make her way to the front and join Dr. Woodward and Angela. Ms. Patsy retired at the end of 2011. She worked as a food service operator in our district for 10 years. Before coming to Knoll High, she was part of the cafeteria staff at Lexington High School. Like so many of us who work in the school setting, Ms. Patsy's favorite part of her job always centered around her coworkers and the students. Her guest tonight is her husband, Bobby. Angela and Ms. Patsy, the Knoll High School family thanks you for your years of service and sends their best wishes.
Hello, I'm Nancy Turner, principal of Knoll Middle School. I want to introduce 2 of my fellow Knoll Middle retirees. First up is Marlene Roth. During her 30 years in education, Marlene has taught English, language arts, speech, and drama. Marlene's teaching journey started at a high school in Pennsylvania. As part of the Fulbright Exchange Teacher Program, she traveled to Hungary to teach English. Marlene retires from Knoll Middle, where she teaches 7th grade English language arts classes. Now I invite Charlotte Smith to come to the front. Charlotte spent 19 years keeping smiles on students' faces by making sure they had good meals to enjoy at school. She first worked as a food service operator at Pelion Elementary. Then she joined the cafeteria staff at our school. Thank you, Marlene and Charlotte, for the time and commitment you have given your jobs and to Knoll Middle School.
Well, good evening. I'm Jeff Salters. I'm the district's Chief Operations Officer. The Transportation Office falls under my department, so I have the honor of telling you about retirees from that office tonight. Would Gloria Gerald join Dr. Woodward up front, please? Gloria retires as Executive Secretary for our Special Needs Transportation Office. She's been a dedicated member of Lexington One transportation staff for 31 years. During this time, Gloria has enjoyed getting to know bus drivers and other employees, students and parents from across the district. David, Gloria's husband, came with her to tonight's banquet. Would Paula Gunner please come forward? For 22 years, Paula enjoyed traveling the roads of our school district and not being confined in an office. She retired in August as a bus driver in the Gilbert attendance area. Tonight, she's joined by her daughter, Dina Gunner. Next up is Willie Nix. Willie officially retired from Lexington One on the very last day of 2011. For almost 20 years, he transported students in the Lexington attendance area to and from school. Each day he boarded his bus, Willie looked forward to always facing new challenges, except for driving around in the fog as thick as pea soup. During summer months, Willie worked as a district courier. Janie, Willie's wife, is here with him this evening. Last but certainly not least is TJ Vandenham. Please join your fellow retirees up front. After working as a bus driver in the White Knoll attendance area for almost 12 years, TJ parked her bus for the last time back in March. TJ enjoyed the daily routine of making sure students on her bus safely arrived at school and then back home again. With her tonight is her husband, JT. I thank each of you for your service to our district and most importantly to our students. Best wishes on a great retirement.
Wasn't it wonderful to hear about each of these retirees? And I just want to say again, thank you so much for what you have contributed to us in your individual job responsibilities. Now, we do have a few more retirees to recognize. And I'm going to call this the Big Four. So I'm going to recognize 4 of our retiring principals and tell you a little bit about them. And I'm going to ask Dr. B, Darrell Barringer, to please come forward and receive a gift. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Darrell. Darrell came to Lexington One in 1978 as a 5th grade teacher at Lexington Intermediate, where years later he served as interim principal. During his 34 years in Lexington One, Darrell also taught at Red Bank Elementary School, served as assistant principal and principal at Peelian Elementary, opened and served as principal at 2 different schools, White Knoll Elementary and Carolina Springs Elementary. He has truly made an impact thanks to his attention to detail, which is well known. Focus on improving student performance. He brought us the Situation Room, and creative and cooperative leadership. Darrell's wife, Becky, also a Lexington School District 1 employee, and joins him tonight. And Darrell, I want to thank you for the sterling leadership that you have given to every school that you have served as principal and to the district as a whole. Darrell has served as a coordinator for our accreditation process, for professional development, and in so many ways. So thank you so much for your service with us. And I think he's going to be doing a little bit of traveling. Looking forward to, he's going to be working with the accreditation service that accredited us. So that's good, Darrell. We're glad to have you there. Okay, Laura McMahon. With a career that spans 46 years, Laura McMahon defines what it means to devote oneself to supporting public education. Laura came to Lexington One after teaching for 3 years elsewhere. In 1969, she joined the staff at Lexington High School, There she taught social studies, served as department head, was named Lexington High School Teacher of the Year and District Teacher of the Year. She coordinated the teacher cadet program and worked as an administrative assistant. In 1996, Laura was promoted to assistant principal at Lexington Middle School. She became the principal there in 2004. Laura is one of 2 current employees who can say this. She has worked with each superintendent this district has had since its incorporation. That is amazing. I'm going to present another one in a few minutes. Deidre Tanner, Laura's daughter, is with her tonight. And Laura, I know that you will keep in touch, that you will continue to support our students and our employees as you have for 46 years. It's been my pleasure to work with you and get to know you. So let's thank Laura. Now, Jean Haggard, would you please come forward? Jean has more than 47 years of educational experience, with 46 of those spent in Lexington School District 1. She began her career as a biology and chemistry teacher at Hartsville High School in 1964. In 1966, she moved to Lexington High School, where she served as a teacher, counselor, and assistant principal before becoming principal at Pelion High School. During her 20 years as principal at Pelion High, Jean oversaw the building of a new high school, athletic facilities, and Center for Advanced Study. Like Laura, Jean is one of only 2 current employees in our district who has worked with each superintendent since its incorporation. And I might say that Jean's mother and father served as principal of Pelion High School. She has a tradition, and she expanded that tradition in a very special way. Joining Jean this evening is her husband and the mayor of Pelion, Charlie Haggard. Jean, you are a true visionary. You had in your mind what you wanted for the children at Pelion High School, and you didn't relent. That is one hallmark of her leadership at Pelion High School. You really have helped them reach their full potential. So we send you off with best wishes for a wonderful retirement. Thank you. Now, Dr. Nancy Turner. Where's Nancy? Nancy Turner came to White Knoll Middle School in 1992 when the school opened, and she served there as assistant principal until 1994 when she was promoted to principal. Her career in education as a Spanish teacher began more than 36 years ago in Miami, Florida. In the late 70s, Nancy worked at Miami-Dade Community College and then moved to North Carolina, where she taught at high school there. After moving to South Carolina in 1989, she taught at Irma High School, then served as an assistant principal at Fairfield Central High before joining Lexington 1. Well respected by her peers, Nancy won the South Carolina Middle Level Principal of the Year Award in 2008. What you probably remember most about Nancy is her service learning activities that White Knoll Middle School has become known for, not the least of which was the fire truck project. And I'll have to tell you that she called me one day and said, I want to talk to you about something. I said, good, come on in. We sat down and I said, what do you want to talk about? She said, well, I want to do something in response to 9/11. And we were all feeling very emotional about all of this. And I said, well, great, Nancy, what do you want to do? She said, I want to buy a fire truck. Well, you can imagine, I was stunned. And I said, well, Nancy, do you know how much a fire truck costs? She said about $500,000. Give Nancy a task and she will get it done. she got it done then, and she's done so many other wonderful things for the children of White Knoll Middle School and for our school system. And we thank you so much for that. With her is her husband, Les. And Nancy, I just want to say that it's been a personal pleasure to work with you, and I have seen that dedication and drive in so many different ways that have made such a difference in children's lives. So we're so glad that you chose Lexington School District 1, and we wish you all the best.
Good evening. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Debbie Knight, a member of the Lexington 1 Board. Isn't it wonderful to hear about all of these wonderful retirees, their careers, and their plans for the next stage of their lives? As this evening comes to a close, let us look to the future. What wonderful roles you've filled as Lexington 1 employees. Well, now it's time for the credits to roll and for you to land your next big parts. So settle back and let's watch a preview, of course, of your next coming attraction with the highlights of your future plans. Turn your attentions to the screens on the other side of the room to find out what's coming soon.